Right. Hello, and welcome to Dungeon Keeper 2, part 1 of my playthrough. I sound a bit exhausted. It's because I've been having quite a few technical difficulties. I'm not going to go through all of them. Dungeon Keeper 2 is difficult enough running in a window. I'm doing so in DXWND, DXWind, a program specifically for DirectX programs. But also, my internet just dropped out for like an hour. It was still a productive hour, however. I got the undercoat of a Dwarf Thunderer done. Anyway, enough of that aside. Hopefully, when the stars have aligned correctly, it will allow me to actually get somewhat of a stream done tonight. So, welcome to Dungeon Keeper 2. This is the one which I grew up playing, kind of. I borrowed the CD from one of my friends. That sounded a bit more... those quotation marks around that were a bit stronger than I intended. I did borrow it from him. I ended up forgetting to give the CD back, though. Oh dear. Old shame. Anyway, please, if you borrow things, make sure you give them back. Don't be like me. But yes... Dungeon Keeper 2 was the one I played first, not Dungeon Keeper 1. I don't know, Dungeon Keeper 1 just passed me by when it came out originally. I played Populous at the beginning. Anyway, Dungeon Keeper 2. Now that I've played Dungeon Keeper 1, I do agree that Dungeon Keeper 1 is better than Dungeon Keeper 2 in multiple ways. The creature interaction is better. The challenge in running a dungeon is greater. Because, as I said, the creatures have more interactions between each other. Multiple creatures don't get along with each other. That's less of a thing in Dungeon Keeper 2. I still do like Dungeon Keeper 2 an awful lot. And I think I would prefer to play Dungeon Keeper 2 over Dungeon Keeper 1. If only because some major quality of life improvements. Clicking and dragging, mining and placing rooms is a big issue which I had with Dungeon Keeper 1. It doesn't have that, which was something I probably mentioned far too many times in my playthrough. I'm sorry if I did. Anyway, we're going to go here and we'll watch the intro movie, because it needs to be seen to set the scene for the game. it on? Yep, okay. And there we go. I really like that introduction. Probably more so the Dungeon Keeper 1. Though it's got less of the sort of rude English humor, which is in Dungeon Keeper 1. There's less trolls flipping off heroes. So you get more action and horny, being all badass and all that. Anyway, we'll start a new campaign. And we'll go into Smilesville.
Smilesville. Welcome, Keeper. Before you lies a happy and carefree realm. The local champion, Lord Antonius, holds the first portal gem you require. Learn how to construct a dungeon, and build up your forces so that you can crush Lord Antonius and wipe the smile from his face.
Yes, it's a very simple mission. We'll be able to finish it quickly.
Behold, your dungeon heart. Protect it well, for if it is destroyed, you will be banished forever from this land.
This is mostly a training mission than anything else. A tutorial. It's going to be talking.
Here walks the goodly Lord Antonius. 'Tis he who holds the precious portal gem.
He's so sparkly.
But only when you've mustered strength sufficient should you challenge him and claim your prize. Lair. Hatchery.
We'll get this gold because he's going to tell us to get the gold.
Well done. And now your faithful servant imps will carry back your gold to Dungeon Heart. Once here, it can be spent. The golden scale atop the screen keeps track of your reserves. A start indeed, but more gold is required. 12,000 units should be mined.
Alright, we'll mine there, and we'll mine this in preparation for building a lair and a hatchery. And yes. So, already you can see that there is a number of differences in Dungeon Keeper 2 than Dungeon Keeper 1. For one, the Dungeon Heart looks completely different. It's this large, pulsating, beating mass here. I rather like the design of it more in Dungeon Keeper 2 than 1.
Red flowers float above your imps. These give measure to their health. Their skill acquired and reflect the simple thoughts within.
It's much easier to read the little flowers above the creatures' heads as well. Just the higher resolution makes it easier. It was awfully difficult. But yes.
Excellent work, Keeper. You are ready to recruit more creatures to your cause. See? A portal near your dungeon heart, to where your imps must dig. They'll claim this portal to be yours. You'll see what beasts emerge. Your dungeon heart is full of gold. No more than 16,000 can it hold.
I don't want to talk over the narrator. He's so good. His voice is so great for an evil advisor. Can't remember the voice actor's name. Sad me. Anyway, yes, what else? We'll note also that our dungeon heart has a treasury built into it, so we can always store an amount of gold from the beginning of the game. Anything else of interest at the moment? Our imps actually gain experience while they're performing their duties, which is something that I like so much in Dungeon Keeper 2. You don't have to dump them into the training room and take up space which your creatures could be training. So that does mean there isn't the balance there, but I never trained my imps in Dungeon Keeper 1. It was always kind of, I don't know. You had so many imps, and there wasn't a good way to cycle through them, to pick them up and dump them in there to make sure that you're training the lowest level ones. So, we have our toolbar down here rather than up here like this. It's actually, the way it was in Dungeon Keeper 1 is very similar to how it is in Populous at the beginning. The panels up here. Build a lair.
A place of rest where creatures sleep to calm their tempers and restore their health.
Thank you.
The hatchery. A place where creatures feed on favored food. The eggs will hatch and chickens then emerge to satisfy their appetites. Behold your portal, the gate through which new...
He's interrupting himself.
A goblin has entered your domain. On his own, he is a cowardly beast, but in a horde becomes a useful fighting force.
Yep, goblins are the basic creature in
Your
this.
goblins need a lair where they shall sleep.
That's not the lair.
Tag the flashing area to guide
No.
your imps to dig sufficient space.
If I build the lair over here, will you stop that? You will. Thank
Your
you.
lair is built. Now right-click to
I
cancel
defy you,
building.
tutorial man.
Good progress, Keeper. See? Your goblins are well rested in their lair, and their bellies
Oh, I
full of
slapped it.
juicy chicken flesh.
Can we
Now
actually
keep
see,
watch,
like...
For very soon, more goblins will arrive, and then your numbers will be strong enough to challenge Lord Antonius.
Okay. Ooh. Camera rotated for some reason. Does it do that when you... Why does it do that when you right-click with the query tool? Yeah.
Ah, you picked a creature up. To drop him, right-click anywhere on your land.
What else is different? This here, the gold around this is the timer to the next payday. It will decrease as it goes around, and when it gets back up to here, payday will arrive. We can also grab gold from this, just by clicking up there. We can also hold an awful lot of things at one time. I don't know what the max is. Also, you'll see here, we have mana. Mana is the currency of magic, and it's this you'll spend each time you cast a spell. Unlike Dungeon Keeper 1, mana is used to cast spells, and not gold. This is a change which I quite like in Dungeon Keeper 2. I believe our Dungeon Heart generates gold.
I sense a breach. The servants of Antonius have broken through your walls, and you can move your gaze to see them now by right-clicking on the flashing globe.
Yes, okay.
But worry not this time, for it is only dwarfs, who, feeble as they are, pose little threat against your goblins. The hapless enemy
go.
dwarfs are being crushed. Observe the white health flowers which appear above them. When they're near to death, you'll see that only one last petal shows.
Yeah, they'll lie there until they eventually die. They won't get up like they do in Dungeon Keeper 1. What was I saying? Yes, I believe our Dungeon Heart generates mana. You can see here, we have like an income of mana, 142 at the moment. And it fluctuates slightly. I don't know how that fluctuates. It's going up over time, actually. 145, 147. It might actually be per tile. Yes, mana value, 1 per tile. So the more of these tiles we have, the more mana we get
Your
per
goblin
tick.
force is large enough to challenge Lord Antonius for his portal gem.
And we have
Tunnel north and you will find your smug opponent skulking in his keep.
a negative on mana. Also, minus 28. That might be our imps doing that? Where is it? Imp, mood happy, curdle. Can I query my imps? Turgeon the imp. Turgeon? Blood type PoE. Current wage 0. Gold held 0. Imps don't collect wage. They also don't leave corpses in this like they did in Dungeon Keeper 1. They're creatures of mana, so purely of mana, so if they die, they just explode in a goof of magic. I don't know what's causing the drain. I think it's our imps. They do not fight. They run away. They don't fight like they do in Dungeon Keeper 1, which is nice. They keep out of combat. Rather than, you know, trying to deal with enemies. As they did sometimes in the first one. What else is there to go over? There'll be things which appear later on.
The time has come for you to face Lord Antonius.
Yeah.
Tag the flashing tiles. Your imps will tunnel to his keep.
Goblins are a basic creature. They're like, kind of like the demon spawn equivalent. I think, or like, they're like the first combat qualified creature you get. There's less creatures in Dungeon Keeper 2 than in the first one, which
I see you have discovered a magical item.
I feel both ways about. It makes it easier to understand them all, but at the same time, the variety I really liked in Dungeon Keeper 1.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
Level up all of our creatures. You see our imps are now level 5 or level 4, and they have haste, the little blue marks around their feet as they run around.
Away, Keeper! You shall not taint Smilesville with your evil ways!
He speaks, the feeble
Whoa.
Lord Antonius.
Okay.
See how
Also,
the petals of his white house flower are of a special
creatures get...
This marks him down as your prime target. Take him out.
Creatures get stunned slightly when you drop them, so you don't tend to want to just drop
Keeper.
them right next
Lord
to...
Antonius is fallen.
right
the portal
next to
gem
the
lies aside his helpless form.
enemy.
In wait for Horny to collect it, so it's yours. And comes he now.
Ah, yes, I remember this. Hey, we got a massive gem. That's another change from Dungeon Keeper 1. Horned Reaper is now Horny, a specific character, not a creature you can get.
Devise new spells in the library. The training room lets creatures improve their combat skills.
It's not a creature you can get multiple of. Okay, well, that's it. Don't think there's anything else here. It shows us the items, the rooms and such, which we're going to get for the next level.
Hot lips. Well done, Keeper. You have successfully ended the life of Lord Antonius, and you have claimed your first portal gem as well. This is a most promising start.
Yes, the goals of our missions now are collecting the portal gems rather than just corrupting the land, though that is, of course, what we do well. We get our point score and how many special items there are in the level. Level 1, yes, we did finish it. It took about nearly 10 minutes. We didn't kill any... Oh, enemy creatures killed. 0, because there was no enemy dungeon keepers. Heroes destroyed was 3. We apparently captured 1 room. Land owned 180 attempts at level 1. Yes. And we get a little animation at the end of some of the levels. I think we've got the developers all listed here. And we'll put mech 4. Oh. And have to press enter. In the next level, we get this nice little 3D animated environment. Each of these are a level, and there's some secret levels scattered around, which I don't know whether I'll do or not. It depends.
Sing Song. A joyous land filled with light and music. Let us silence their wailing voices once and for all. This land is defended by Lord Darius, a far tougher opponent than Lord Antonius. Only by harnessing the forces of dark magic will you defeat him. Build a library to attract warlocks to your cause, and they will reveal to you the secrets of the arcane.
Yes, we get the library and we get the training room. Oh. Still kind of tutorial.
The good Lord Darius presents himself against you now. He's more worthy as a foe. But use the rooms you won from Smilesville to good employ, and you'll slay him dead just like Antonius. Library. Training room. First, build a lair, and then a hatchery, then claim the portal near your dungeon heart.
Yes, Dad. Right. Well, we'll do as he says. And... yeah, sure, there we go. We'll also have to build a library and a training room. We'll probably be able to build them up there. But yes, and we start to get spells now. So, research is still the same thing as it is in the first one. Though, I believe... I don't know if different creatures can research. Actually, no, they can. Warlocks can research. And there is some creatures which can research as well later on. But... I think creatures are more specific to certain tasks, where in Dungeon Keeper 1 you could actually have creatures which don't research as well. They just would be pretty terrible at it. Whereas in Dungeon Keeper 2, creatures which don't research won't at all, I think, even if you drop them into the library. I might be wrong on that. It has been a while since I've played this. But we can still slap our creatures to make them work faster. Okay, and I'll want to... 4, 5. Get that. Wait. Oh, I've actually got a bunch of gold, so I can just place these buildings, or these rooms right now. And I'll mine the gold. We don't have a treasury yet still, so... You can see up the top on the bar up here. When I mouse over things, it will actually tell you some stats about it. The Dungeon Heart, you can see the health is at 100%, and it has a maximum amount of mana it can hold, which is 200,000. I don't know if that goes up. I think that might be a hard limit. I think you can increase the amount of... the rate at which you get mana, but I think 200,000 is the maximum. So... anything else around here? Menus, resize map. That changes the mini-map down there. I can zoom in. Right-clicking. Left-clicking zooms in, right-clicking zooms out. And if you zoom out all the way, it will show you,
Claim
like...
the portal now, so fighting creatures will be drawn forth into your domain.
I don't know why the emphasis, because it's not like the enemy's going to be able to do that to me. I mean, they might sometimes try and take it. Also, you'll note I can't pick up the gold unless I have owned the tile underneath it. That's different for Dungeon Keeper 1. I also can't drop... Actually, I can? Maybe I can't drop creatures on terrain which I don't own? Oh well. Should try and not say things. I always get it wrong. Oh... Sure. Build that like that. Ugh. I want you to claim this area. Slap.
You have claimed a portal.
I like that they kept the wonky sort of design to the walls. Everything's all sort of crooked. Just something which was in Dungeon Keeper 1.
The basics of your dungeon are in place, but now expand it with a library. Design it square to maximize the space for scrolls, and let your imps make stronger walls to hold more shelves.
Yeah.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
This is also something which was in Dungeon Keeper 1. You tend to want to have the room surrounded by these rock walls, or I call it dirt, because it looks like dirt more than rock, rather than these solid rock walls, because they can reinforce these dirt walls with these bricks, which actually turn into, like, layer wall when you build or into a room wall when you build a room next to it. It doesn't do anything for the lair, but for the library you get extra shelves from that. So if some of the walls are taken up by solid rock, you won't get the maximum, like, capacity of the room. So, there's also other changes about the walls. It is now possible, I believe, to tunnel through reinforced walls of the enemies. It takes a long time, but it is possible. In Dungeon Keeper 1, it was impossible. You had to use the, what's it called? You had to use, like, the crumble wall spell or something like that to make a hole. There is something like that in Dungeon Keeper 2, but it's not it's not required. It just turns it into a rock or dirt wall. I build my library where? We'll build it here. Maximum capacity doesn't really matter right now. We'll be that specific about it. I could extend it up like this anyway.
Hark now. A warlock has arrived to study spells.
I see something which
proves
me wrong again.
Serve your magic well.
Oh!
Restrict him not, though, to his books, for when in battle he may prove formidable with fireballs.
Well, shut my mouth. After all that, saying that the impenetrable rock wall, the solid rock
Every
walls...
bookcase in your library will attract another warlock to your realm.
Don't get, what's it called? Don't get textures on them for the room. They do, apparently.
And now to build a training room. It's best to make it square and 4x4, so that there'll be targets for your creature's training needs.
It's not how I remembered it. It wasn't like that in Dungeon Keeper 1. I thought it was like that in Dungeon Keeper 2 as well. It just proves it once again that I shouldn't talk about things because I don't know about them. Build the training room here.
A task well done. But training creatures will cost gold.
Yeah. I think there's a way to turn off the training room. No. Another difference from the training room from the second game and from the first game, and I am positive about this. Famous last words. The training room in Dungeon Keeper 2 only trains your creatures up to level 4. You need other rooms, which we'll get later on, or another room we'll get later on, to train them up further. Or we need direct combat experience. So you can't use the training room to train your creatures just endlessly. They will eventually get to the point where they will be too experienced to get any benefit from this anymore. You can slap them to make them train faster. You see, they have these dummies which they're hitting. This is something I like in Dungeon Keeper 2. All the 3D animations and all that. They have these targets on the walls which ranged creatures can shoot. Could also slap the warlocks to make them research faster. They read the books. I believe you can actually research yourself if you possess them. There's a torch on that bookshelf there. That seems like a terrible fire hazard. Also, another thing different from Dungeon Keeper 1, I don't think the warlocks mind if creatures go through the library. In Dungeon Keeper 1, if creatures walk through the library, the warlocks will get annoyed at the interruption and would chuck fireballs at them. I don't think that's a thing anymore, which is a bit sad. But
a new spell has been researched. Mana is the currency of magic, and it's this you spend each time you cast a spell. Your mana level is shown in green atop the screen. Your land will gradually renew it as it's spent. Your creatures make good progress. One improves his skill to level 2. A creature can train as high as level 4, but that's the limit. Further skill can only be attained out on the battlefield.
It's
Cast
actually
your new spell to create an imp. So open now the panel Spells and select the imp's head symbol. Then cast it with a click on any land that's yours.
You can actually see here that the Warlocks have engaged in training on their own volition. That's not something they did in the first game. They would, if they had no research to do, they would just, like, spend their time sleeping and eating. Because they were not naturally inclined to train unless you dumped them in the training room. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So we'll create some imps.
A good
Again.
cast, Keeper. You've made good use of your Warlock's studious research.
Again, I like having imps in, what's it called? Multiplications of 3. Because 3 imps can stand next to each other and mine one wall.
You may wish to train your Warlocks to improve their skills. To do this, drop a Warlock in the training room.
They will also do it themselves,
Imps are
apparently.
creatures born of magic and cost mana to sustain.
So we'll see here, up here actually, the amount of mana we're draining, while still lower than the amount of mana we're getting, is gone up. It's now 42 instead of, I think it was 28 before? So, if I cast it again, we'll be able to see how much an imp costs. One imp costs, 42, 49. So that's 7? Okay. 56. Yeah, that's 7. That's 7? 6.
A new spell has been researched. Your Warlocks now have studied further, offering you another spell to cast, through which a thunderbolt is yours to hurl against such foolish enemies who dare invade your turf. Your dungeon has been breached.
What? And it is 7.
Your imps have found some dwarves. These
Where?
righteous little pests may stray onto your land, and if they do, destroy them. For that's what they deserve.
Different creatures spend different amounts of times stunned when you drop them. I think goblins get up pretty quickly. Oh!
The paltry dwarfs are now destroyed.
And they're all
Allow your
barbecued.
creatures time to rest and eat. When ready, guide them north to find Lord Darius's keep.
Oh, they came through there. Right. We have a lightning thunderbolt spell now also. There's no click and what's it called? There's no click to charge up the spells anymore either.
A left
Though
click on your creature picks it up. A right click on claimed land then lets it drop. Be wary though. Don't drop them too near enemies, for the dropping stuns these beasts a time and makes them vulnerable to enemy attack.
I've already explained that. You'll notice here that the create imp spell is getting this gold border around it. Each spell can be researched twice to improve it. I think it's only 2 times. You'll see it says spell grade 1 there. I don't actually know the differences exactly which that causes. I think maybe it's a mana reduction, and it might mean that the imps you create are of a higher level. But I can't remember, it's been ages. All the dwarves there just died. They're now all smelly with flies buzzing around them.
Your create imp spell has been upgraded.
And my creatures are tracking blood through my dungeon. It's messy. So yeah. 9,000. I think that's the same. So if I cast it... yes, he was created at level 4. So 10. Level 12. Oh, we're actually running low on gold because of payday. My creatures demand
The
gold.
time has come for you to face Lord Darius. Tag the flashing tiles. Your imps will tunnel to his keep. It is payday.
We can also see our objectives by clicking on this button here. Invade Lord Darius' keep and slay him. Build library and use the warlocks to research new spells. And also see them sleeping in their beds. So peaceful. Goblins have these bedrolls. Warlocks have these chairs. Is there anything else on this map? Any hidden things anywhere? I don't know. Not like I'm going to be searching diligently for all of the hidden things everywhere, but...
Lord Darius's walls are breached. Your forces now must kill his guards and stir Lord Darius himself to come defend his land.
Yeah, they don't have a chance. Bam! I can cast lightning on them if I wish. Zap! Pretty powerful. Can I
At last,
angle
Lord
the camera?
Darius has been roused. He enters
Nope.
through his heroes.
I don't think I
gates.
can.
Your forces now must kill him, and the portal gem of Sing-Song will be yours.
Keeper, dare not think that you will conquer me, you evil wretch. My walls and the power of good will drive you from this land.
Yes, sure. Blah, 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 blah. Whoa! That. Dude, they're also like running away. Where are you going?
You seek to defile my realm with your foul sorcery. You will perish, Keeper.
Oh, I forgot that.
Darius lies
Lightning
down.
actually stuns them
Now
and knocks
comes
them to the ground
Hawley
for a bit
to claim
too.
you the portal gem. Your progress is most pleasing.
Get to watch Horny appear and take the portal gem again. Oh yeah, when he appears in the library, he causes all these papers to fly everywhere. Oh yeah, and steam appears from beneath his hooves when he walks through water. Hey, another portal gem is ours.
The treasury lets you hold more gold. Make traps and doors in the workshop. The sentry trap targets intruders with a powerful cannon. Use wooden doors to seal off rooms and corridors.
Ah yes, the traps I think in Dungeon Keeper 2 are a lot more fair and more fun to use.
Nunchaku. I see you blasted Lord Darius off the face of the realm.
Oh, there was a
A
special thing.
most entertaining way to claim a portal gem.
Yeah, well.
To hear their singing turn to screaming has been a tremendous joy to my ears.
Well, whatever. But, yep, that's another level done. Pick 4. Oh, not square bracket. We go on to the next level.
Ramshackle. This is a peaceful land, but a poor one, since its defender, Lord Avaricious, has frittered away his riches. If you can amass enough gold, he will surely be tempted into leaving his fortress and attacking you personally. Build a workshop, and fill your realm with fiendish traps and doors to protect your hard-won treasuries. Lure this fool to his doom, and claim his portal gem.
You're right, he's called Lord Avaricious. This is entering into Overlord territory for the heroes who are not actually.
Lord Avaricious hides within his fortress proud.
Not really.
He's well defended, but gold's his weakness. To lure him from his stronghold, mine all the gold within his realm. Treasury. Workshop. Sentry trap. Wooden door.
Right, okay, so we'll need to... how do I want to build this? Do this. 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5. Left 5. 5. Yep. That. Go.
Hello? Are you still there? The imps are about to lock up.
Thanks, game. That's also something which I missed in Dungeon Keeper 1. The game has funny messages it plays every now and then. That one was because my clock timer on my computer just hit 2 AM. This is quite late. Should be going to bed soon. If I didn't play late at night, we wouldn't get these messages like this. I don't know if this one's for if you play it around like lunchtime or something. Anyway. I think there's a lot more, like, humor and personality in Dungeon Keeper 2 for the first one. Or it's more upfront with that. Whereas in Dungeon Keeper 1 it was sort of more of an undercurrent. Anyway. We'll do this, and I'm gonna have to build a room there because the gold is 5. If I do this, can I build a 5x5? 2, 3, 4. Can't. Ah. Five.
Recall, your dungeon heart will only hold a sum of 16,000 gold. So build a treasury for the excess to amass.
You just like saying that because it rhymes,
you need a
don't
treasury to store gold.
Yeah, I know. I heard you the first time. Just keep badgering you. We can actually mine these bits out here, and you turn that into a treasury around it.
So trolls will come and use it for their fabrication, benefiting you with traps and doors to help defend your underground creation.
Also, because mana is the way which you create imps now, if you have the mana, you may as well cast Create Imp. Though, of course, you know, you'll be getting less mana every time you cast it in the future because you're... it goes up when you cast it, but also because how much is getting drained goes up as well. Come on. 7, 8. I think the imps are better coordinated too in 2 rather than they are in 1. No. Everything seems to be holding up pretty well in the game so far. I'm still a bit leery. There was issues with frame rates when the resolution gets too high. I'm currently playing this. I'm playing it in a large window, but the resolution of the game is like 800 by 600. But DX Wind, I have it appearing larger on my monitor. But I was having issues if I played it on 1024 by 768, I think it is. And effects in the game were causing massive slowdown. I don't know. This game has so many small quirks and all that in it. To me, at least. Some people have no problem running it. Even on Windows 10. So I'm running the GOG version, and that is pretty good. You can get it running, I believe, just by as soon as you download it. But since I need to run this in a window for capturing it with OBS, that's a whole raft of other issues. 8, 9. Does reinforcing walls increase my mana cost? Increase the mana coming in? Maybe. Doesn't say.
You have claimed a portal. The swift light Firefly's essential as an airborne scout. His eyes are yours to penetrate dark places and report.
The Firefly is the fly equivalent, though I believe they're actually a bit better than the fly. A bit better. Keep buzzing around. They don't actually make any noise. They recover pretty quickly when you drop them too. They have this egg. Actually, now that I look at it, since I'm playing this with a fair few more years under my belt, that's exactly like the eggs which the facehuggers pop out of. From Alien. I never realised that. I think it actually looks like that when they sleep in it. It closes up when they're in it. Can I actually force them to sleep? I don't think so. They go like, oh! Oh, okay. Anyway. Fireflies also eat chickens.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
Right. We'll want... here. Got a goblin. Very good, very good. I like the atmospheric soundtrack of Dungeon and Dungeon Keeper 2. There is music. It tends to kick in Dungeon Keeper 2 when you're in combat. But there is tracks which play in the background and they're very sort of atmospheric rather than being a soundtrack. Oh look, the Fireflies actually have little light sources around them.
To lure Lord Avaricious from his stronghold, mine all the gold within his realm.
Yep. Yep, yep. I know. I'll get right on that, boss. Now, these are one of the traps. The cannons. We can build those as well. Dwarves! Fireflies will probably actually help me able to defeat them. They're pretty weak, but they're not as weak as flies. They might actually try and destroy those. Or not. They're running away. This is something else in Dungeon Keeper 2. The heroes' traps and all that look different from ours. So note the look of these cannons, and then when we build our own cannons, you'll see that they look quite different. Build a training room here. Gold. Gold. Ah. Fireflies do the same as flies. They actually search around the map and get shot at constantly. If I build... Oh. If I build... that. Not really neat up there, is it? Do that. Put it down one. It's not mirrored perfectly, but... oh well. I think each portal can only attract 15 creatures. Yep. Up to 15 creatures may enter through the portal. You see, we have the wooden door and the sentry trap. This is another change from Dungeon Keeper 1, which I like a lot. When you have a workshop, you actually have to click on this.
Well, your wooden doors in narrow tunnels to slow down hostile enemies as they invade.
Thank you. You actually have to press this button and click where you want them to be, and then they're built to order based on how many you want, rather than the creatures just creating whatever they want and you having to place them down every now and then to stop them from filling the workshop up with useless junk. Hey, fireflies. Start trading, actually. Oh, you're nearly dead. Shop. You can also see how much gold the treasury will store. This one here around my dungeon hut will store 72,000 gold. And it's got currently 439. So, or filled up currently.
A troll arrives, attracted by the splendor of your workshop. His craftsman's skills are set to serve you well, as one whose toil will make both traps and doors for you to use in your defense.
There's an enemy creature.
It is well built. Now, choose the hammer tab to see the workshop panel, then select the symbol for the sentry trap.
That's the thief, I think it's called. Yep. The thief, enemy hero character. We have an equivalent. They sneak around and they might steal your gold. I'm not too sure. I think they were in Dungeon Keeper 1. Anyway. Place a door there. And a door there. Get our troll to work in the workshop. Trolls are basically exactly the same as they are in Dungeon Keeper 1. They're not very good at combat. They're very good at making stuff in the workshop. I think they might actually be better than fire demons. Slap you. Start working faster. Got another one. Hey there. What's their bed look like? I think it's just a bedroll again. No, they have these little bucket things. Yeah, that's right.
A wooden door has been created in your workshop.
The wooden door gets created as a little crate here. And then an imp will come and pick it up
Your
and
doors are
will
locked
drop it
with
off.
one left click upon them. Lock trolls within your workshop, then watch them work without distraction. Although in time, they'll yearn for sleep or food.
So yes, you can click on it and it will lock it. You get the little indication there by the lock and chain being on the door. Wooden doors aren't that tough, but they're better than nothing. As the game said, you can use doors to control where your creatures actually go. Want to have a look over there. No, not the troll. Go. We don't have any other spells in this level. You can also see the cost of the buildings here. Wooden doors cost 500 gold each. Sentry traps cost 1,000 gold each. No longer
which flashes near your dungeon
are they
is a
free.
good place as any for a sentry trap.
Nah, not there. I'm gonna stick it here. Because then it's like
Now what?
guarding my door.
Your trolls will fabricate the trap, then imps will take it to its designated place.
Also, if you saw when I placed it, it had the ring of sparkles. That red ring, which I think I can, yeah, when I mouse over it, it will appear again. That is the range of the weapon. That's how far away it will shoot at enemies. I don't know whether you can actually... Can't possess traps. No. Never mind. But yes. It's a maximum range of the sentry trap. So you can make sure that your traps are overlapping each other. Such. Go. I don't think you can get other creatures working in the workshop. No, they just leave. Done yet? Where's the other one? He's hungry.
It is payday.
Ah, payday. Can you go and, like, find that? No? Need more gold. Don't mind that. Oh, there is a, Dispel the Fog of War. That will be useful. Actually, don't mind that. Mind this.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Hey, a sentry trap. It also divides the imps up by their jobs. Total is up top, then next is idle, then there's busy, and then there's fighting. You can also divide creatures up
Sentry traps
here as
will
well.
only fire if sufficient is your mana for their power.
Right. I'd forgotten that. Here's our sentry trap. It's a cannon. A very red looking one. It's connected. Oh, well, we're connected now. At least it wasn't a complete dropout like it was earlier. Most annoying. But yes, you can see they shoot big fireballs. Boom! They're quite useful. They look quite different from the hero ones. I rather like the look of the hero ones. They look more like artillery cannons. Ours are sort of more like ships cannons, I suppose. Anyway, how you deal with them is sort of you just dump creatures near them and they go and attack them, I think.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Hello, welcome! Love this game, glad to see someone streaming it. Well, I'm happy to provide. I like this game a lot too. Though it is very annoying to get running properly. At least for me. Especially in a window. Alright. Won't mine out all the gold, because I would like to get some of these secret items around here. Oh, well, he's coming out there anyway. Okay. Take that. Wish they created a new one.
I see you have
There is-
discovered a magical item.
A spiritual successor. I think it's called War for the Overworld. Which is, essentially Dungeon Keeper 3. But I have not played it, and I know very little about it. It does have the same narrator, though. Hello, welcome, welcome. We'll reveal the map with this.
The realm has been revealed.
See everything now. And our imps will attract the ire of the enemy hero. Kind of an annoying thing, I believe, in Dungeon Keeper 2, at least for what I've seen so far, is that when you kill the enemy hero, the enemy Lord of the Realm, they will actually end the level. How's the stream today? Wonky. It's been difficult getting this working properly, or getting OBS to capture it, and then my internet popped out for like an hour, so... everything seems to be fine. We had a disconnect just before, but it resolved itself pretty quickly. Let's just hope it doesn't get any worse than that. Okay. Would like you lot to focus and try and take down those cannons. There we go. Any other one, please? We don't actually have the spell to direct our troops right now. The all to arms, so I'm just having to dump them near the objects I want them to kill and hope for the best. Hope that they'll go in the right direction. We actually don't have to assault that, I believe. If we do mine out all the gold, as it said, he will come out and fight us. I think if we mine all these... if we claim all these squares around this portal, or hero gate, will actually collapse. And become non-functional. Work faster. Stop trying to... Is there anything else in this level? Nope. Okay. Don't actually have a library. I never built one. Oh well. Now, will it collapse when we claim this block?
You've claimed the
Yes.
land around the hero gate, and thus broken it. No more thieving heroes will invade your realm this way.
Yep.
You've taken over an enemy room.
Sorry.
You've taken over an enemy room.
Sure, if you'd like to.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
Right. Well, we want him to come out of there, so... People, we want these lot to come out of there, so... This bit of gold is what he's waiting for. We mine that out, then... Oh, and this here. What have we got? I think we got a warlock. Yes, we did. Well, we've got... Let's build some sentry cannons there. Come on, trolls. Stop eating all my chickens and start building the sentry cannons. Oh, well, congratulations. Thank you.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
But one. We see a firefly sleeping in its nest, as it were, yet. Some of them are injured, so they might actually. Yep. Yeah, it's just like in Alien. Hey! Leave that alone. Those are expensive, those are.
Your creatures are impressed with your work.
Oh well, thank you. I think that just means they're all happy. Well, we can just fight him as it is. We don't have to mine out all the,
Your destiny is to die by my sword.
Why are my fireflies running off?
Thieving keeper, I will punish you for daring to despoil my land.
And he's dead.
Success, my little friend. Another portal gem is yours. Your wickedness inspires us all. Your simple ways are glory to behold.
Does it press escape to continue? So if I press that, escape. No, you can see he just destroyed both my cannons there. Thanks very much, Horny. Those are expensive though, were. Oh, it said press escape to continue, but as I think I said in Dungeon Keeper 2, when you kill the enemy Lord of the Land, the level just ends. You don't get the option to explore around the level like you did in the first one. Oh, actually we do! Well, shut my mouth. It's just it plays the cutscene regardless, so okay. Well, I'm learning things all the time. I've said before, I should stop making such definitive comments. Just end up proving myself wrong like a minute later. Get rid of the cannon. There we go. And one. Come on. It's right over there. No. Forget it. There's nothing over there anyway. Right. So, I think we got everything in this level. Bit of slow down there. Anyway. We'll press space to finish the level.
Corrupting the noble? Whatever will you think of next, Keeper? The sunlit kingdom of the heroes draws a little closer with each victory, and this was cleverly fought. Well done. Lord Avaricious lies broken before you with his gold in your coffers. Who says you can't buy happiness?
Yes, and another little animation. That one took a bit longer, 25 minutes. what is. Oop. 4. Can I do another level? Sure. Stream started a bit later than usual.
Your next adversary, Lord Ludwig, is currently patrolling his keep, considering himself and all of his subjects safe in this land. Known as a cowardly wretch, he has always relied on others to do his fighting for him. This is one battle he will not avoid.
Yeah, we get guard rooms in this level. Traverse the moat of Lord Ludwig's fort and wrestle the portal gem from him. Find and claim the guard rooms. Lead a charge of grouped creatures into Lord Ludwig's fort. Oh, there's still grouped creatures in this.
Lord Ludwig knows your intentions, Evil Keeper. But mark, he cowers in his castle, locked away behind what he supposes is the safety of the drawbridge now destroyed by his own hand. From here, he has entrusted your destruction to his goodly warriors, whom he feels are more than equal to the task. For our part, we must know that they and he will perish, slain by forces under your command.
Yeah, we actually see a new hero unit there, the guard. Guys armed with spears. Mine out 5x5 rooms, as always. Actually only a 4x5. Oh, game! Why do you do this? Oh well, whatever. Five. Make that one till I know how big things are up there. Four. 5. Get another imp afterwards. We get a bit more mana. Is there a way to pan the camera or to tilt the camera? Fine, use controls. Use camera 1. Adjust camera tilt and zoom to the required setting. Then select store. That back. Camera 2. Oh, those are like resets? Okay. Controls. Invert mouse, first person? No. Alternative scroll? No. Define keys. Sure, let's have a look. Toggle sniper mode. Insert. Yes. Possessed, pick, lock, disarm. Numpad 0. There's actually a bunch of commands which I didn't know about. Use attack as space. Possessed, creep, control. Possessed, run as shift. Zoom in and out, home and end. Up, it's up. Possessed, select, group. It's 7. Possessed, select, remove from group control. G. Okay. Rotate as control, speed scroll, rotate view left. Increase ambient light, decrease ambient light, isometric camera, top down camera, oblique camera. Toggle GUI. Zoom to portal. Pitch camera up, control and home. Pitch camera down, control and end. Rotate camera left, roll camera left, insert, roll camera right, delete. Your camera left, page up, your camera right, page down. You better know what these words mean, they're all related to like aircraft. Proper terms, but... Pick up high level creature, full stop. Pick up low level creature, comma. Okay. So it's control... plus... Okay. So let's have a look at that. A control home. That spins it quickly.
You need a treasury to store gold.
Ooh. Well, the game said that was what happened, but apparently that's not what it does. I think I just made a screen save. Oh well. Right, and the other ones? That's normal camera. That's top down. That's oblique. That's like, I think in classic. Oh, that's weird. Actually, that like gets rid of all the like that actually warps the map so that it becomes, well, oblique, I suppose. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't fade off into the distance up there. Okay, okay. I'll zoom the camera out more. Yes. 5. There. And we get some more imps. This is a bigger map, so I might actually have to save halfway through and continue it next time. I think we are past the majority of the training missions, as it were. We'll have a bit more free reign now with how to do things, and the challenge should start upping. Why did you have to put these two right here? So annoying. So that's Fog of War 2. All of this is, actually. How many imps have we got? 6. 7. Well, build a lair. And what to do? I'll make this into a library. This could be a hatchery up here. Maybe. Okay, I'll make that into a treasury so that we can store all this delicious gold. I'll pick it up and carry it there myself. I think there is a limit to how much we can carry, but I think it's quite high. There we go. I like that if you want, you can do some of the little tasks around the place just to speed things up. Gives you something to do. Means the game's a bit more hands-on than just letting your imps do everything. There we go. We've got 9 imps. Pardon me. Right, well, we've got a hatchery now, and a lair, and a treasury. And I'll turn this into a library down here. Set a library. Thank you. And we may as well mine this out now, and start getting some creatures. I always wondered what was down the pit.
You've claimed a portal.
I assume it's a large land where all the creatures live. Must be pretty terrible if they want to come up and live in my dungeon. build the training room here. That way any creatures which are training will be in the way of people which attack.
Dungeon.
I'll build a workshop here, because that doesn't need to be too large. And my imps will spend their time reinforcing all the walls. We got a firefly again. Oh, we got a warlock actually. Get up, make your bed.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
I'm basically allowing them to come up from hell. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I suppose up here they get paid wages, they have a bedroom, they get all the chickens they can eat basically. At the risk of being slapped and sent to fight heroes. I suppose it must be a pretty good deal. Are you training? I don't really want you training, I want you researching. Build some doors. Okay. Give my trolls something to do. Okay. Hey trolls.
Observe the creature panel on your screen. Click on creatures' numbers once or more to carry them, then drop them where you will, just as before. Observe also the symbols which lie beside. Use these to gauge your beast's activities, the number which now fight or work, and whether they remain good-humored.
We have total, and we can put it to jobs, which will say how many of them are inactive, how many of them are...
A wooden door has been created.
I don't know, it's actually not telling me what they do. Active, I suppose? Inactive, active, fighting, and nothing to do? I mean, idle is the question mark over there. Fighting, is that a sword? Consistency in UI elements would be used. As well as, like, you know, hovering tooltips. I don't know why that doesn't do that. Yeah, fighting. Combat. That might be guarding. And that is doing other things, I suppose. And you can see here, happy, unhappy, and angry. So currently all my creatures are happy. That do? Oh yeah, that changes the minimap. We can also query the creatures to see about them. Osric the Warlock. Blood group BO, current wage 600. He's got no gold because he hasn't collected any wages. I can give him gold. You tend to do that to make creatures happy. Trolls aren't good fighters. Or they spend their time training. There's not really any point. I don't think they get any special abilities. They get special abilities in Dungeon Keeper 1. Something tells me they might have gotten grenades at some point, but I'm pretty sure in Dungeon Keeper 2 they don't have any special abilities. The number of creature abilities is quite a bit lower in Dungeon Keeper 2. I think each creature only has a maximum of 4 abilities, including their basic melee attacks, so... But I'm probably wrong on that. Which is the memory of someone who hasn't played this game for like... When was the last time I would have played this?
A new spell has been researched.
Would have been like maybe 14 years ago.
Spell. Cast on a given creature places you within its soul, your eyes behind its eyes, and makes its movement fully under your control. The guard room. Drop your creatures here to keep them lively and alert, thence ready for the fight. The flashing area which surrounds it marks the zone where any brush with trouble by your creatures will give cause for them to dash back and report, so reinforcements can be found. Make sure there's adequate provision for your minions' needs nearby, for though they are on guard, they still require their creature comforts, and it's wise to minimize the time they stray from duty.
Yep. So yes, I think you can have that pop up if you query the building. Oh. Okay. I thought there was a way to make that appear again. Oh, you can see it on the map. Right. Might be kind of difficult to see. You can see the blue line there. I believe that is the extent to which the guard room like patrol area is.
The Dark Elf. Her sniping skills as sharp as bolted arrows which she shoots. She serves you well in line behind your fighters and excels in duty as a guard.
Is the creature summoned specifically by the guard room, the Dark Elf. He has a crossbow. It is not dark-skinned like you'd expect, though she does sleep on a giant mushroom. So they're not drow, but... yes, and we have possession. You just reset
Your create imp spell has been upgraded.
I wish it told me what that actually did. Oh! No, I learned that last time. It actually means that when I create an imp, it's at level 4 instead of level 1 now. Let's possess an imp. It costs mana to possess a creature. And is it going to be... Here we go. Controlling in possession is much better than it was in Dungeon Keeper 1. Just because the game is bigger resolution.
You possess your creatures admirably. I see you're adept at this new skill. So, time to try another. Grouping. It enables you to band a number of your beasts together in a group. To do it, first possess a creature, then select the group key. Then look through the creature's eyes which you possess. And then, when you spy another, left-click upon the mouse. All creatures thusly grouped will follow you wherever you may go.
Oh, I remember doing that. So, I'll have to learn what the group key is. I looked at it before, but I have already forgotten. What is it? Possessed select group is 7. So, 7. There we go. You can see the icon down here when I get out of this menu is lit up now. And if I click, I think, there we go. I happened. If you right click, you depossess the creature. But if I do that again, and I click on you, you are now grouped with me, and you'll follow me around. I can do that with others as well, and they will follow me around. And you can remove them from the group by, what was the key? G. Oh. G is remove GUI. Control G. There we go. And that disbands the entire group. Pressing 1 selects the imp's first ability, which up the top right, up the top there, you can see is the pickaxe, which I can use to mine through walls, though not stone walls. And I have the haste ability, which speeds up my movement. This is a good way to explore in the game, because you're much more effective at dodging shots than the imps are. Anyway, we'll also possess some other creatures. Where's a warlock? There we go. Hey, warlock! You see, the camera is slightly different. We're taller, and we can actually research, which is
Your Thunderbolt
done by doing
spell
that.
has been upgraded.
I think someone's attacking me. Yes. Cast fireballs at them. I believe we're stronger when we're possessed. There we go. Well done. If I find a troll, there we go. See, they're shorter. They've got a different animation for their attack because they've got a hammer. You can train also. You go up to one of these dummies when it highlights. hit it. And you're actually gaining experience when you do this, to train. At least I'm pretty sure you are. You can use these as well, but only as ranged enemies. So if I show off a Dark Elf... we have smack something with our crossbow. Or we have the bow, which we can fire bolts, which I think you can aim at them. I think they light up. They might not. They make funny noises when they fire.
It is payday.
There's also, yeah, there's a snipe. Such as it is. Zoom in and out. Whatever. Anyway. But yes, possessing is much improved from Dungeon Keeper 1. Just in my opinion, it's much easier to utilize it. That. You'll see also the icons down here have gotten a lot smaller since we've gotten more buildings bunched up over here. We have the guard room, though we can't actually build one. It looks like we'll have to rely on trolls for our fighting. They're not terrible, they're just mediocre. Our Warlock also has another spell there. He's got Heal, which he'll use to heal our other creatures with. I believe in Dungeon Keeper 1, Heal was only a heal on me. Or a self-heal ability. Can you tell them to make their beds in here now? If I dump them in here, will they make their beds in this room, like in Dungeon Keeper 1? Ah, they will. Thank you. Good. So they'll actually sleep here now, rather than back in the other room. I'll do that. I'll build that there and that there. These trolls, I want you to start building. There we go. You can also, I believe you can also construct things in the workshop if you possess them.
Door has been created in your workshop.
By hitting these things. I think this works. It's hard to tell. Hear my furious clicking. Anyway. Oh, hello. Get past my cards. I have the guard hero creature here, hero unit.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
Also, you'll see just then, when your creatures lose their health, they get knocked unconscious, and then your imps will come and drag them to their bed. And they'll rest up, and then they'll be ready to fight again. Oh, we got a goblin. There's no, also, as I mentioned earlier, there's no toggle for imprison creatures or put them into the graveyard, or kill them outright or imprison, like in Dungeon Keeper 1. Creatures are always knocked out, and then after a while they die, and then they get put into the graveyard if you have one. Or if they're knocked out, they will get dragged to the prison. And they... Should they die in a prison... Well, actually, they'll turn into skeletons, but... Hey, what? Hey! Don't do that. A breach? What were they in this little room here? Oh, there's actually a long tunnel. But from that you can see that they will mine through walls, which you have reinforced. Just takes them longer. Though I think dwarves are actually pretty good at mining through your walls. But the heroes have an easy time of breaching your dungeon.
Has been created in your workshop.
Oh, there's a guard room over there. I remember that. I think there's one on the other side as well.
Has been created in your workshop. You have claimed the guard room.
Oh no, one of my trolls died. Or it got knocked out. Come on. Back into his bed. Motherfucker. Who are you fighting? Whatever. I'm gonna build some more doors around this. That way they won't, if I get surprised attacked again from back here.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Yeah, there's an enemy path over there. You see, they're sort of really hammering in how guard rooms have worked. Because there's another setup here to build a lair and a hatchery.
A door has been created in your workshop.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're just tracking blood everywhere. I mean, I don't really mind. They got a map on their table for a dungeon.
Possession spell has been upgraded.
Yeah. I think
There is nothing left to research.
I think that means that it might cost less gold, less mana every time I, for every tick when I'm possessing a creature.
A wooden door has been created in your workshop. Your dungeon has been breached.
Yeah. These guards actually deal a fair amount of damage. I don't know what's happening there. There's like delayed attacks going
their
on.
all-time favorite keeper.
Oh, well, shucks. Again, that just means that they're all happy with me. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have so much mana, I haven't been spending it. Speed up how things go. 15, 16, 17, 18. We don't have bridges, so I can't
You
actually
have claimed the guard room.
get this over here. Or I can't take these either. That gold. I get this gold down here too. Might be things hidden in these areas. How's our treasury filled up? That's fine. About half full. Yep, there's a thing. A increased level. Anything else which we want to do at the moment? No, not really. It's just training up creatures. Oh, payday. Paying creatures for training up in paydays. I swear they just think I'm made of money.
I see you have discovered a magical item.
Yep. Again, and like in Dungeon Keeper 1, imps will drag these little boxes off to your library to be used when you want them to be. Since these are early levels, it'd be a good idea for me to wait on using that until my creatures are all level 4. That way I can
It is payday.
level them up past what they can train, because we're limited to level 4 with the training room. You can see the number flashing up there from going to a blue minus number. That's how much my payday is costing me. You can see also how much the next payday will cost me at this moment. 8,540 gold. That goes up as my creatures get levels, as well as me getting more creatures.
You know that low, broad, downy, soft item of furniture in the next room? It has the power to cure fatigue and restore vitality.
Thanks, game. The game chastising me again for playing so late. Just hit 3 AM. Oh. It's not actually in the next room. Yeah, well, I suppose I should heed that advice. I'm glad after all the hassle I had getting this started, but it's actually going pretty well now. There might be some more issues when I start it up again next time, because I have to get the capture to work, and I have to sort of quickly, when it's starting up, I have to sort of quickly get OBS to switch over to the window before, because if I lose focus of it, the window minimizes. I might have to look into that and see if I can make it stand up, stay maximized rather than minimizing, but oh well. So yes, we're training our minions. This is, I think, the 4th level. So we've made a fair bit of progress. We're into sort of more the game proper. Things will start getting a bit more challenging now. But yes, I think I will save here. Save it under part 1 end.
Game saved.
So, we're back, and I will go end game. Menu. Yep. I think I'll call it there for today. So, you can see we've actually made a fair bit of progress. We've done 3 levels. They've all gone this sort of yellowy, burnt look. It doesn't look as good as it did in Dungeon Keeper 1, now that I'm looking at it. There is sort of the effect of the terrain getting corrupted, but it's not as sort of over the top as it is in Dungeon Keeper 1. I do like how these segments raise up from the map, though. That's a nice little detail. Anyway, that doesn't always happen. I remember that not actually working, and sometimes I tried playing the game in the past. What else? We've got skirmish mode, where you can play against the AI. There's a bunch of maps for that as well. You can choose from. Maximum number of players? 4? I think it's 4. Yeah. Yep, 4. And there's also the My Pet Dungeon, which is a sandbox mode. And just build a dungeon, train your creatures up, and call in attacks when you want, which is pretty fun to do. Well, I think there's only a few levels for that. I might be misremembering. I only remember like 3 maps, but there might be more added by patch, or I'm possibly wrong. Anyway, extras, UVs, and all that. So yeah, that will probably do it for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you'll join me again next time for more Dungeon Keeper 2. Till then, I will say farewell. Stop the recording here.